I was banned from several countries.
They chased you around the stage.
Wait, who chased you around the stage?
The police.
An hour flight, flying with your wife,
Mm-hmm.
and there's only one seat left in first class.
I didn't get to really appreciate traveling until I got a little older. I'm telling you, every act. So I'm like, these gotta have a lot of ammunition. What's to stop doing this to doing this?
Where do you think they have the most appreciative fans?
You didn't pay for the ticket. I don't know if it's fair. I don't know.
Hi guys.
It's Caviar and Wings.
Welcome back.
I'm Sahar.
And I'm Kelly.
Did you miss us?
I hope you did.
You know they do.
And today we have a very special guest who honestly needs no introduction, but I'm going to do it anyway. Grammy nominated, millions and millions of records sold, an absolute legend in music. Ja Rule.
Hey, ladies.
Dun, dun, dun,
How
dun.
y'all doing?
Yes.
How y'all doing?
Welcome.
Oh, glad to be here. Thanks for having me, for
So,
sure. Finally, right? We get it. Yeah,
finally.
for sure.
And I just want to say, I know it took a bit for us to get this together, and that you might not have been feeling the best. So
And then I got
really,
injured. Yo, that's the
injured.
craziest story. We've been
Oh my
trying to
God,
put
you
it
got
together, and
injured
then
coming to see Caviar and
I
Wings?
did.
Yes.
Well, not injured
No,
coming
no,
to see
we-
you
you
guys,
can't sue us.
but yeah.
You can't sue us.
We don't have insurance yet.
This is
Work
like
with us.
an old injury, you know what I'm saying? You know,
You're young.
I didn't do much to earn this one, you know what I mean?
Well, we appreciate it. We
Yeah.
appreciate
No,
your
thanks
time
for having
today.
me, for sure.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump right in.
Yes.
We're going to start with some rapid fire questions to get to know you a little better.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Rapid fire question.
Rapid fire.
Kick
Boom,
us-
boom,
Kick us off, Kelly.
boom. Okay. How long does it take you to unpack once you're home?
Wifey does the unpacking.
Wow.
Shout out to Aisha.
Big shout out to Ace. Yeah, she does the packing and unpacking. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Window or aisle?
Ow.
I thought your answer was going to be private.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, sometimes, you
Yeah.
know, but I like to keep my coins, so yeah.
Okay. All right.
Something you never fly without.
Headphones.
Okay.
That's mine.
Yeah? And then what restaurant would you fly out of the country for?
It was a time when Mr. Child's was the restaurant that I had to do if I was on the West Coast or I've been in London. You know, it just reminded me of home as much as possible. You know, but for me, honestly, anything that reminds me of home.
Okay.
That's my go-to. Like I remember this is a funny story. I've lived in Germany for about maybe like 4 months while I was shooting a film
When was
out
that?
there. It was a while ago.
Okay.
I was out there shooting a film and I was there for about 4 months. And the only thing that I recognized there was Schlotzsky's. And so I'd eat Schlotzsky's every day. And Schlotzsky's is not even like that known in America.
I was
but
going to say, so for a girl from Baltimore, what is Schlotzsky's?
it's a sandwich spot. It's basically like Blimpies of Germany.
Okay. All right.
A 1-year residency anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Dubai, maybe.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
They got the bread.
Go where the bread is. The best golf course you've ever played on?
Oh, that's a good one. Maybe Bighorn. I just played there recently. It's really,
Yeah.
really beautiful. It was like actual like rams on the course up
wow.
in the mountains while we were playing. Like, it
That
was
sounds
cool.
beautiful.
What if somebody accidentally hit one?
I actually ran up on the ram. It was like 4 of them, and I was like so shocked to see them. I was white
ran up
boying
on
and shit,
them.
so I ran with the rams and then realized, like, yo,
So you
I don't know what they do. They buck. I don't know. I just let me
So
back
you were
up
going to
off
run
them.
up on them, not knowing what they're going to do, and
I
your
ran
next
down. You know, I'm from the hood. I thought I
Okay.
could run down on the rams. You know,
with
but
your one good foot.
With my, I had to get up on my good foot. Sometimes you got to get up on your good foot.
What's the dream golf course you want to play on?
Probably Augusta or Pebble Beach.
Okay,
One of those.
it's
Yeah.
respectable.
Have you been to those? You're a golf girl.
I have not played on either one of those.
You got to
Like,
catch up.
Yeah,
Those
I
are the
know.
creme de la creme.
Yeah, they are. It's not easy getting on those courses.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you get on them. It's
You can
just
get on. You just got some coins.
Yeah. You get on 'em. It's just time.
Yeah.
When you want to play it. Yeah.
The jet is fueled. Your
Mhm.
name is on the manifest. Where are we going tomorrow?
I don't know. Use it like a taxi, man. Wherever it takes us. You know. So that's the beauty of flying private. It is like you're kind of like your private taxi in a way. So I remember a couple of times we had a jet situation and we was moving around very taxi like stop over in LA and then we want to fly over to here and then after that we'll go here and then that was like the best jet experience. Because usually you just kind of pop into that or that, but we had it was like our personal cab. It was
One day we're gonna
life goal, have a private jet to use as a
cab. Yeah.
Life goal.
Yeah, taxi.
Okay, well let's ask you this: you're flying commercial.
Mm-hmm.
You got your one good foot, a 10-hour flight, flying with your wife, and there's only one seat left in first class.
That probably would never be a scenario, but
it's the scenario.
But no. So something like that did happen recently, and there was only one seat, and I had, you know how it was, canceled flights, and so it was a mixed bag of things that went on, and so there was only one seat for us to go, but it was a short flight, and of course I let my wife sit.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah.
What? This is a 10-hour flight. This is a 10-hour flight.
It doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter. Here's the funny shit. My man and his broad had the same situation.
Did you say his broad?
Yeah, because they weren't married. So
You're a broad too,
yeah.
You're a broad married.
So they were in the same situation, and he was in front, she was in the back. So we was all cracking up. We was like,
no. You did that? Was she still his broad after the fact?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I mean,
so she rode with
when
that.
you just getting kind of acquainted, and things like that happen. It's a different.
You know what I think the fair thing would be though? You sit up there for 5 hours, and then for the next 5 hours, I sit up there.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't pay for the ticket, I don't know if it's fair. I don't know if that's a fair exchange. But whoever paid for the ticket, that's their decision to make. But I would never do that to the missus. Yeah.
Wow.
No,
yeah. So that's I think if it's a new relationship, that's even worse. Like if we rock together, okay, but it's new and you have me sitting in the back.
I don't know, guys. What's the answer? Let us know. You flying with your boo? Who gets first class?
Are you still together after this flight is over?
I mean, that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one.
Is he tall? Because that plays a factor. Like if he's a really big, big guy, that plays
so then he
into
just
it.
has to get the first class seat because he's too tall to sit in coach.
And there was a celebrity factor to it too. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it was like I don't really want to ride in the back. It happens.
One last question. You pick a country to live in, a country to vacation in, and a country for your vacation home.
So this
country
is like,
to live in.
So this is like.
Does it have to be country or state,
yeah.
or does it have to be different countries?
You know what? It can be
state,
anywhere that you want.
So okay, let me get this again. Country to live, place to live in.
Where would you live? Where would you vacation, and where would you have your second home?
Live. I'm over living where I'm from, so yeah, I used to always want to live where I'm from, like
Queens.
kind of be grounded and stay where I'm rooted. You know what I mean? Because of friends and family and things like that. But we all grown and we all travel, so that don't make a difference no more.
Right.
Even my kids, so that none of that shit makes a difference anymore. So where I want to live, I gotta pick one of these tax-free states, man. You gotta play the smart money. So I would probably
with you on that.
Be in Florida. Is more appealing to me because of golf. So and that's kind of what I want to do on the back nine of my life. I want to play a lot of golf and enjoy life. So probably somewhere warm like that, like a Florida type place. Not Miami, but definitely.
Like this one's been trying to get me to come to Miami forever.
Miami is the place to be.
It's beautiful in Miami, but
there is no state income tax.
Miami's a tough place, but Florida is beautiful.
Yes. Okay.
So I would definitely probably live somewhere in Florida.
The vacation house?
Vacation house, somewhere tropical.
Okay.
But close. I don't want it to be too far where I can't pop in and out, especially.
To the Caribbean?
Yeah, so probably somewhere, I don't know, maybe Bahamas is close, especially it's close to Florida. So maybe I would buy an island off the Bahamas. That's nice. And to vacation.
Yeah, like this is our favorite vacation spot we pop into.
It's anywhere where drugs are legal. That's where that you know. We want honesty on Caviar Wings.
yeah, we
All
do.
right then. That's what I'm talking
We
about.
do.
Because with vacation comes fun. You gotta be able to let your hair down a little
And we
bit.
only do things that are legal.
I only do things that are legal. Exactly.
All right, so let's move on. Tell us about your relationship with travel, like as you were growing up. You are from Queens, New York, and tell us about that. How did it feel, one, growing up in such an amazing city, and then being able to, or if you even traveled as, you know, you grew up, and what that looked like, and even what it looked like in the evolution of your career in the beginning versus now?
Well, living in Queens and Hollis, I didn't travel much at all. I barely left the block type of guy, you know. Everything that I knew was that.
Like most of us. When we
Like
most of us.
I didn't get to really start traveling and moving around till I started making music.
Okay.
And by that time, it's a little different. You know, you don't really get to see the places that you're traveling to. It's kind of like you going there for business to work. So I'm in a city, land, hotel, show, gone. You know, so that's basically the basis of what I see in a city, dinner or whatever, you know, spot or whatever. But it's not, you know, much sightseeing done. So I didn't get to really appreciate traveling until I got a little older, and now I appreciate it a little more. I travel a lot still, and I travel a lot with Ish, and we, you know, we get to enjoy it now a little bit.
I know, y'all are always gone. Always gone.
Yeah. It's better that way for me.
Yeah.
So do you remember your first trip out of the country?
My first trip out of the country, I don't remember where I went, but some of my earlier trips that I was taking was like, we'd go to like Africa. Those are like our first initial, like really long, like getaway trips. Africa, Brazil. Brazil was probably like one of my first getaways. Now that I think about it, because I shot a Holla Holla video. I shot that in Brazil. I shot my album cover for my first album in Brazil. So that was probably like maybe my first experience outside of the country. Yeah.
What is one of your most memorable trips like ever? You got to tell us a juicy story. Tell us something good. I want to hear about hotel rooms getting trashed, being banned.
Man,
Wait, aren't you banned from like
Don't strike me as a tear the hotel room.
Are you banned from certain countries?
I am. I'm banned from a couple of countries.
Tell us about that.
Well, I was banned from several countries, but I'm allowed back. I'm allowed back.
Are you sure?
Okay, wait, hold on. No.
Because you don't want to end up in a situation where you think you're good, you go, and
you go, and you're not good.
Yeah, you don't want that. That kind of happened to Chris Brown recently.
Yeah, it did. It did happen to him, and that's one of the countries you're banned from as well.
Yeah, I'm banned from the UK for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
So
yeah.
Let's talk about what happened in the UK. How do you get banned from a country?
UK was simple. We got into a big brawl, big fight in the UK. And people got hurt, and so that's a very
like in the
good
club,
reason.
like bro.
Yeah. Man. So that's a very good reason for them to ban you. Plus,
I
don't have a good criminal record here either.
So they took that into account.
Yeah, they take that into account, and so I'm
Come
not
on,
allowed
London,
in the UK at all. I probably won't be able to go back to the UK. I don't know, but you know, ever as of now. It's never, you know what I mean? But I think I can get like some special, you know,
don't risk it.
Permission.
Permission. Pull up and you be like, you know what?
Permission.
Just joking. Never mind.
Yeah.
We're keeping you here.
So that's one place, Jamaica. But I'm
How
back
do you
in Jamaica.
Get banned in Jamaica?
It's almost anything goes in Jamaica. Isn't
that's what I thought. That's what I thought until it wasn't. You know, so Jamaica's.
Was it another brawl?
Nuts. No, Jamaica. Now Jamaica's funny, right? So I'm explaining to you Jamaica. So I was doing like, I don't know, Reggae Sunsplash, like one of these big festivals. And like, so in Jamaica, I'm sure y'all familiar, you know, they do the clashes, they do the, you know, the big concerts. Yeah. And every song that artists come out, they like shoot off guns and flamethrowers and all kind of crazy shit, right? But I was warned not to curse when I go on stage. Like saying things like is too close to suck your mother to them, and they don't play that type of cursing. Yeah. language in Jamaica.
Okay.
Neither
I
do
didn't
we
know
on
that.
Caviar and Wings, but keep going.
Oh, y'all like, I didn't know y'all can. Well, y'all can edit. Y'all can edit. It's not live. It's cool.
Knock yourself out.
But so I go on stage, and I'm watching how this is all transpiring, how this is all going down, and I'm telling you, every act that goes on, I'm telling you, every act. So I'm like, these gotta have a lot of ammunition. Like they're loading with every act, and so they tell me no cursing. So I said, this has got to be like the biggest joke ever. Like I guess she told me I can't go out there and say what's my name, but they can reload guns and shoot in the air. I said, what if I get shot on stage? What's to stop doing this to doing this? Like what the? So anyway, I go on stage. You know, I had a little bit that I do when I do I'm Real. I do it 3 times. So I'd say, what's my fucking name? Stop it. What's my name?
Yeah.
Stop it.
Okay.
What's my fucking name? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they didn't like that very much. That not only did they tell me not to say it once, but I did it 3 times. So they chased me around the stage and
They
shit.
chased
and
you
then,
around the stage.
Wait, who
They
chased you around the
physically
stage?
chased-
The police. Yeah, they came on the stage
The
to get me
police
right then and there. They got me.
locked you up for cursing.
Yeah, they locked me up for cursing. But, you know,
I've
I
never
step
heard
ahead
such.
of them. And so they gave me another time where I had to come back to court. So they told me I had to come back to court. And it was like in another couple of days or whatever. But I decided to just leave the country. So I got a private plane and left and never went back. And so, yeah, that's how that happened.
Oh, my God.
And so every year, my good friends in Jamaica, my brothers, you know, my Jamaican kings and shit, Buju and you know, Beanie Man, they hit, Ja, I can get you back, no worry. I did everything. I'm finally back, though. I can go back to Jamaica. I can go back to...
Are you sure?
Yeah, I've been
Okay.
back.
Okay.
I can go back to Jamaica. I can go back to Canada. I'm allowed back.
They are
to
so
you do
nice
in
in
Canada?
Canada. What
Or
did
is
you
it
do?
just your record
No,
here?
Canada was another assault charge.
It was another
Assault charge, yeah.
It's
I'm a
violence.
sweet person. I swear to God.
I don't see this side
You know
of
what's so
you.
fucked up? And I said this the other day. I think I was.
Yeah.
I don't know who I was talking to this about, but I said, "Yo," I said, when you look at my record, it makes me look like a bad person, and I'm really not.
You're
I'm
not.
like a sweetheart, and I'm like, but it doesn't look like that on paper. It doesn't look like that on paper.
Oh,
That is-
man.
but- And so, but I'm good now. I'm good in all of those places except for UK.
Okay.
All right.
So the places you can travel to. What are some of your favorites? Why do you love, what resonates with you the most in your favorite spots that you go to?
To be honest, I like staying home. I like being in the States.
Me too.
You know, going out of the country is cool for a visit, quick, but it's no place like being on my home soil.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like.
So where do you like traveling to here stateside?
You know, that's so crazy because I'm really starting to get to know the United States for its beauty and what it is. You know, I went to Niagara Falls recently, but the other side, on the Canada side.
Okay.
And it was beautiful.
Never been.
Was
Have you?
fucking
No.
beautiful. Well, you know, Canada's the 51st state, so
Yeah,
I don't think they
I've been to
like
Canada.
that.
I've been to. I don't think they feel that
I
way.
don't think they like that anymore.
Yeah, not that mad
I
at
don't
it.
think they
was
agree
there
with you on that.
making jokes, and they were like, nah, you know. If it happens, it happens. But you know, so certain places like that, like, you know, I'm discovering the beauty. Like when I was out in California at Bighorn.
Okay.
I was out by
Yeah.
Palm Springs, but I was in Palm Desert. I didn't even know there was a Palm Desert.
Okay.
And it was like, it's just like the beauty and the landscaping of all of it. And I'm just like, wow, you know, people need to really explore the United States more for the beauty.
Yeah, there's so many places.
There are
beautiful
places. Yeah, we say
and
that.
we always stuck on going to the Caribbean or going to here, you know. But there's a lot of beautiful places. And I'm just learning that at fucking my big age. But it's really true. So that's kind of been my vibe lately, just kind of finding little hot, dope spots that are in the States that we can kind of creep to and nobody
Well, you
fucking
and I should let
nosebleed
us know when
bothers
y'all
me.
pulling up in the States somewhere.
Yeah.
You can come too.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that one of the first like big trips that you took out of the country was to Africa.
Yeah.
You opened a school in Africa.
I did. Yeah.
What made you choose opening a school in Africa versus something here in the States?
We don't need schools here in the States. There's plenty of schools for kids to go to in the States. You know, people say stuff like that, but when you really look at the landscape, like thousands of schools in the States and here, you know, where I built this school in Ghana, you know, we're not in the city. We're not, you know, right in when you know when you land in Ghana, you're in the what's the main town?
Accra.
Thank you.
Accra's the city. We're in Nawaso.
Okay.
With my school. It's
It's like a couple hours away, yeah.
And out there it's very rural and you know.
How did you find this location?
Yeah.
So I worked with Pencils of Promise.
Okay.
And you know, they have a really, really great program that they do in building schools in Guatemala and, you know, Ghana, and then just marginalized communities across the country. And Ghana was one of the safer places to build in Africa.
Okay.
So it's a whole thing, you know, you got to go and get permission from the chief, and it was cool. Like, you know, the chief, he had pictures of him like hanging out in Detroit and shit. And I'm like, yo, you like Malcolm X and shit before he was Malcolm. You Detroit Red and shit. Yeah, so we had a laugh about that, but
I can't.
But it's really a thing that I wanted to do for my people, for my for you know where I come from, my roots and where I'm rooted. You know, my black culture. You know, it's so crazy with black people because we really don't know where we come from, but we know it's somewhere over in that area, in that region.
Yeah.
But when you get over there, you really start to get these history lessons, and you really learn about the struggles of, you know, Africans and the slave trade and all of those types of things, and it hits you differently from the way we learn it here in the States.
Right.
So, you know, for me to be able to do that, knowing that, you know, education was something that was made illegal for us, you know, in a period of time, it felt very full circle to be able to come back to where the slave trade is actually, you know, from, and build a school for those kids to be able to, you know, learn for a long time. And trust me, I feel really good about the work that's going to be done at that school.
Yeah, you should. It's amazing.
Because there's a lot of kids are going to.
You're changing a lot of lives by doing something.
That's
like
probably
this.
the most important thing that I've done, and not probably it is that I've done in my career. Like that has meaning and value and substance to it. You know, where everything else is just, you know, entertainment. You know.
Have you thought about a change in careers and maybe being the principal?
No.
At the school? No.
No. That is not something I.
If they asked you to be the principal and be like,
for the day, yeah,
for
sure,
the day.
and all the kids can hang out and have ice
Just
cream
for the
and
day.
shit. Yeah,
For a day, I like that.
So yeah, maybe we can just hop over there and we can be teachers for the day.
I would love to.
And Joe would be the principal for the day.
That's part of the beauty of,
you
know, having the school and it being my school is that, yeah, they will have celebrity guests that come by and give them encouragement and inspiration and stuff like that from time to time. So, and you know, I'm always going to go and check on my babies. Those are my new kids that I feel like are my kids now. So
it's K through 8th?
No, so it's
a different over there?
It is. It's a little different over there. So they go to up until they go to high school. So up until 8th grade.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, but the system is so different.
Right.
So the boys are allowed to go on to higher education in high school. The girls are not.
Really?
So this is why I'm here doing these things too, because it's also a process of them kind of learning Western culture and how we kind of do things over here that work versus things that they're doing over there that are kind of archaic.
Yeah.
You know, one of the other places that I visited over there, it was maybe 5 miles up from my school. We went to another school that Pencils of Promise does. I think it might have been one of their other sponsors, and we went to the school and it was very heartbreaking to see and learn some of the practices that they still believe in. Like, one of the things was they still believe that a woman's menstrual cycle, that the blood is evil. Now, this is real shit. You know what I'm saying? And that, so when the girls have their menstrual cycle, they can't be with everybody else. They have to go and like have their menstrual cycle alone in this in a place. You know what I'm saying? Like,
which is
and so these are the things that, you know, Pencils of Promise also do to help educate them on some of Western culture that you know is just normal in the world. You know, and then helping the girls, you know, with learning how to, you know, deal with their health and cleanliness and all that stuff too is part of the program. And so it's a lot. It's not just the school. It's us building, you know, toilets and bathrooms and stuff like that for them for hygienic reasons too. It's a lot. So I'm really proud of what we did, and Pencils of Promise, big up to them because they've been doing this for a very long time, and it just in Ghana alone, I think they have over, I think there's like 100 and something schools that they've built. So
wow,
yeah, so
amazing.
Good work to them.
Plan on going back anytime soon to visit? We would.
Yeah. I'll probably be going back in another couple of months, and within the next 6 months, because I'm also gonna adding on to it. I'm building like a gym and stuff for them. You know, golf simulators and stuff for the kids, stuff like that. Yeah.
I love that. You know, you keep bringing up golf. How good is your golf game, Ja? Because it keeps coming up. What's your handicap?
My handicap is...
We're going to fact check this because I know some folks you golf with.
Yeah, I'm about a 20. They'll tell you. They'll tell you that, you know, Josh's pretty good. But I'm about a 20. Okay. You know, but, you know, I shoot in the 80s from time to time. I've done it a lot lately.
We can go out to we can go out to Ghana and, you know, give some golf lessons.
Yeah, well, I don't know how many golf courses they have.
We can make a little putt for the kids.
I'm gonna do something
that'll be nice, like the simulators, like
a
range, something like that would be.
Because those are sports that we don't ever get first look at. You know what I mean? Sports like golf and they're just more expensive sports to play. You know, with the equipment and stuff like that. So
there's a little bit of exposure.
I have not graduated to golf. It looks so boring.
It's so much fun.
It's so much fun.
It is so much fun. It's a great time.
Out in the blazing sun, just in the middle of
you don't gotta go in the
blazing sun. You golf early in the morning. You catch it before it gets really high. You could just play the front 9 or the back 9. You don't have to do all 18.
All right, y'all speaking French, but it's all good.
It's it's a good time. But we love the work you're doing out there. It's amazing, and it really does impact so many lives, and it passes on through just their specific lives. It becomes a generational thing where everyone is getting an opportunity to be in a better place because of it.
And you know, it's a difference. Like you can see the spark in them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How happy they are to have the school there and eager they are to learn. It's a difference. It's just a difference. I do stuff here. I do, stuff. And it's just different. You know what I'm saying? The conversations that I have sometimes with some of the youth here, it's very different from the conversations that I have with them over there.
Do you feel like they're more appreciative?
Absolutely.
Overseas?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's thousands of schools here. Kids choose not to go to them. You know what I'm saying? They may not have a school. They don't get books. They don't. So their education is still very much removed from them. You know, it's a crazy thing. You know, when you have something in abundance, sometimes you take it for granted. You know, when you don't have something, that's the thing that you want most. And where education is similar. You know, my whole life, I've always kind of been, 1 foot in, 1 foot out on education, knowing that it's important, but, also wanting to do other things that just didn't fit into the picture. But as I got older, I realized the importance of education. And my learning curve, it changed. It became so much more effective because now I want to learn. So when I'm picking up a book to read now, soaking up the information versus not,
Right,
you know, because I don't, it's just something that I'm doing because I have to do it, you know.
Right.
So it's definitely a difference for people that want to learn versus people that are being forced to learn.
Right.
Right. That intentionality makes a big difference. And, you know, there's a topic that's come up on our show in the past, and that's this notion of just being overseas and folks there being more appreciative in general,
Absolutely.
even of the music artists that come through. And, you know, that kind of thing as well, as far as the level of fanship that they, you know, show versus
Well,
here
they
in
don't
this.
see us that much, you know, so it's
Do you think that's what it is?
Is that
absolutely.
it? I don't.
Absolutely.
They just seem so much more
Or you think
appreciative.
so you don't think they're just
Because
better fans? You just think that they don't see
they
you
are
guys
better
as,
fans because they are more appreciative because when they get there, I may not see him for another 3 years. I don't know when he's coming back. You go do a tour over in UK,
well,
not
you can't.
necessarily. I can.
You can't do a tour in
but,
UK.
But if you go over to these places, you're not necessarily coming back for a while. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so they're very much more responsive to artists because of that reason.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So if you were to do, I know you said you would do your residency in Dubai. You feel like the fans there would be that much more appreciative.
No.
That's
not what I said.
That's the bag. That's the bag.
That's it. They got
That's the
that bag over
So
there.
where do you think they have, outside of the U.S., where do you think they have the most appreciative fans?
The most lit fans.
Like when you perform there, you're like, man, this
rural areas, like even in the States.
Okay.
You know, you go to LA and do a show, it's cool, but you go to Missouri and do a show, they're over the top happy. Nobody comes to Missouri. You know, nobody comes to Omaha. You know, so they're like, yo. So it's the same thing. When you go to those places, it's crazy. Like they go crazy. So it's always that. You know, scarcity. You know, makes the heart grow fonder for the artist.
All right. So we talked about how you grew up as far as your relationship with travel. We talked about how it was when you went on tour and so forth. You had this next phase of building the school in Africa and how you're giving back, which is my favorite part personally. And then we have Amber and Opal.
Yeah.
Amber and Opal.
Opal. So we want to talk about that, but what we find really, really interesting about that is, like Caviar Wings, you started this company with one of your really, really good friends.
I did.
So we need to know how it is, your experience with working with a good friend.
Yeah.
And we have Herb here, so I think we should get him to come on and give his opinion too.
Herb? Can we get you up here?
Oh, he came with the drink.
Oh, my man. Hold on. We got you. I got you, my brother.
long as we don't
Put one here there.
drop
There we
them.
go. That one's yours? Okay, there you go. Oh, Lord. I tried to help you to not do that.
Don't spill the liquor.
Somebody been drinking.
This is someone's not first drink.
Slippery. What's up, people? What's happening?
Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Shout out to
cheers,
Amber and Opal.
cheers.
Yes,
Cheers.
cheers.
Sure.
So, the question was,
Yeah.
working with your bestie,
Yeah.
how does that work and how has it been?
Man, tell us the good
Yeah.
and the bad.
You know, it's funny. We created this brand, and we lead with this is not a celebrity brand, right? It's important to know that in the beverage space because there's so many celebrity brands.
Yeah.
And they
And
just
most
come and
of them
go.
are trash.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I won't call them trash,
Oh,
but you know,
I will.
They might not be
there's
to your
challenges.
liking.
I'm allowed to
Yeah.
say it if he won't. Most of them are trash. You know what I'm saying?
So we wanted to create a product that, you know, although we had a celebrity on our team, the product is really the celebrity here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we want that to stand alone.
Yeah, we lead with A&O.
Yeah.
And you really are a team of friends. How did you guys decide that you would be able to work together?
It was easy, right? It was the vision for Amber and Opal came during COVID, right? It was some downtime. We started an investment group, and one of the first opportunities that came across our desk was to purchase some barrels of whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
And that purchase was solely an investment, right? We were buying those barrels, we are going to let them age, and then we were going to sell them for a multiplier once they hit a 10-year mark. But during the process, we started learning about the business of whiskey. I've always wanted to own my own whiskey brand, and just never thought it would be possible. So through this investment, we learned a little bit about the business of whiskey, and it became more real for us to create this brand, you know? So it all kind of came full circle.
Nice.
I want to hear what Jeff has to say about working with his friends.
I want to hear what are the challenges?
How is it working with Herb?
It's been great.
Come on now. Like, what are the points where it's like, man, this is what my team, like my friend does well, and this is like, man, this gets on my nerves.
No,
because I know I get on Kelly's nerves.
When you create a team,
what's so funny? It's not that funny, Kelly. It's just a little bit on your nerves. You laughing too hard.
I get on each other's nerves. It happens. But I think when you create a team, in any team aspect, everybody has their part that they do. What happens with teams is people like other people's part of the job, and they want to do that, and people will bleed into each other's parts of the jobs, and then sometimes it's people to wearing too many hats, right? What I learned in business and working with any team structure, especially with your friends, is you have to give everybody their space to do what they do best. Me, I'm the great guy to go out and market and promote.
Marketing.
You know, you understand?
Absolutely.
Herb is a great guy to do a lot of the everyday pulling and the day-to-day stuff. He does. Kelvin does his part, Fest does it. So everybody has their part that they play, which has been working very well for us.
Yeah.
And I think if we stay that way, things will be fine.
Have you gone into business with friends before?
Yeah, I've done stuff with friends before.
And you find that it's successful?
Not always. Sometimes it's successful, but the inside fighting is there. You know, but this is not that. I think even if I see it starting to kind of have its moments, I can kind of talk to each individual and navigate it a little bit because I've been through some of that. I don't know if Herb's ever worked with his friends as to know some of the things that kind of, you know, make things messy, you know, sometimes. But it happens. You know what I'm saying? It happens.
I think such a big part of it, too, is just having respect for your partner at the end of the day. And I think the way you speak to your partner, right? Because, you know, you want to give your partner some grace, too. Like, if I'm going to mess up.
Absolutely.
And Sahara's going to mess up. And when I mess up, I don't want to be cursed out. Just like when you mess up, you cursed. I think it's just a respect thing that can help you.
Absolutely.
Very well said.
That is first and foremost. Everybody has to have respect for each other. You know?
What's the best piece of advice you would give to someone who's going into business with a friend?
I think Kelly just hit it on the head. She said you got to give grace, right? Through this process, I've learned, and my wife has really taught me how to deal with my friends in business. Because I'll come home and I'll talk to her about some things, and she'll give me a perspective that I may not have seen, right? And that's valuable to me, right? So when Kelly just mentioned about giving grace, it's like, you know what? Sometimes I don't need to take things so personally, right? Give a little bit of grace. Maybe just have a conversation rather than sending out that firecracker email, right? Pick up the phone, maybe have a phone call and express your feelings. Like, yo, I didn't appreciate this. I think we should do it this way. Let's talk about it before we do X, Y, and Z.
That's the best way and the only way it works.
Yeah.
The other way, it doesn't work.
Agreed.
Because people may not say nothing in the interim, but they harbor the feelings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Communication.
Communication is always key when you dealing with friends, because y'all have a history. And so, you know, the history makes everybody have a small sense of entitlement of how we should all deal with each other.
Well said.
You know what I'm saying? And so respect is very big. It's a very big
well
thing.
said.
Take us through the Amber and Opal process. Like,
So
okay, you guys bought the barrels. Now you said we're friends. We're going to go into business together. Yeah. Like, how do you even start thinking about this? Like, this is a big deal. Like, it's huge. Like, look at this packaging. Like, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
And the process, I'm sure, I don't know much about whiskey, but I know it can't be easy because I know aging is an important thing. So now you have this time factor. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of things that take into consideration, distribution, marketing. I can't imagine.
Well, we have a great partner. There's a company called Baltimore Spirits Company out of Baltimore, Maryland, Kelly's hometown, my
Okay.
adopted hometown.
Your hometown too.
That's right. That's right, me.
Kind of.
You know, we're what you call a non-distilling producer. So what that means is that we don't make our own whiskey. We contract with this company that provides the whiskey. They also do our blending. So our whiskey is the mash bill. The mash bill is what comprises the whiskey. It's 75% rye, 25% malted rye. And then we infuse orange blossom honey and in 2 forms of botanicals. So we use an herbal tea that gives notes of cinnamon, fig, and ginger. And then we finish it with a black tea called Lapsang Souchong. It's a Chinese black tea, which gives it a little smoke on the finish, right? So our guys at Baltimore Spirits Company, they were very instrumental in us coming up with this, the flavor profile. They blend it for us, they package it for us, and they help ship out of their warehouse.
Nice.
So it's been a great partnership, and in any business you got to have great partners to succeed. So
Partnerships help really accelerate your
So-
growth. And
The design of this bottle is exquisite. Who came up with that?
we wanted to create something that was more statuesque, something that will sit and really look well presented on the top shelf of a bar. If you look at the cork, if you look at our emblem on the front, they're all in the shape of a honeycomb, right? Obviously, that's a nod to the orange blossom honey that we use. But more importantly, it's a nod to the bees that help to create our community, if you will, right? So if you ever seen a colony of bees create a honeycomb, it's a incredible thing. Every bee has their job. They all work in harmony to create this honeycomb that's just like masterful. And we thought that would really be emblematic of our brand, right? Like how we all work together to create, a powerful product. So you'll see the honeycomb motif on our cork, front label, back label, and then there's a little bee emblem on the front.
It's
as
beautiful.
well.
I noticed the bottle that I received the other day had your initials.
Yeah.
had
It's
signed it.
truly a handcrafted product. You'll hear a lot of brands say that they're handcrafted, but this thing is truly handcrafted. I literally pick up the honey, I take it to the distiller.
oh wow.
Yeah. Oh, no. I literally go and buy the honey, load it into a truck, bring it to the distiller. Our botanicals comes from a local company as well in Baltimore, White Tea Company. Want to give them a shout out. Another great partner. They provide the botanicals that we use. So it's truly a local product. Everything is done literally in house. Once it's all labeled, I literally number and sign every single bottle.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I thought that
Every single bottle.
That's-
We won't continue to do that.
Right.
We're getting
That's
to
a
a
lot.
point now where
You're going to be too big to sign every bottle.
we've outgrown that a little bit, but we wanted to, on our launch, we wanted to really have that feel of authenticity,
Personal
right?
touch.
Yeah, when people grab the bottle and they see that someone literally signed it with their hand, it's like, oh wow, it's a little bit of love and care went into this bottle.
You guys had a lovely event at the distillery in Baltimore, I guess like a launch type event. And a friend of mine bought a bottle and all of you guys signed it. And she's like, I'm never opening it. I'm just going to sit it on the shelf.
Good.
and
That means
keep
she got
it."
to buy more bottles
I
now.
know. She can open,
Yeah, I am not a whiskey connoisseur by any stretch of the imagination, but this is actually really good. So I actually, the first time I tried it, I was like, oh,
It's
I can
whiskey
drink
that I
this.
can handle.
Like I can handle
It's
it.
funny you say that because we created it for people like you.
Right.
We call them the whiskey curious. People that may have had not the most pleasant experience with their first whiskey taste.
Some of them can be a little rough. It can be a little rough.
Yes, they're a little aggressive.
But it can be a little rough.
Ours is a little more pleasant on the profile because we infused it with some flavors that makes it a little bit more inviting for you.
No, it's definitely an easy drink,
Yeah.
which can be problematic. Couple drinks in, you're like, hold on.
Y'all saw how I came in here.
Yeah, I know.
Right. Coming in.
Stop it.
Coming in
I didn't
hot.
come in hot. The glass was slippery. Stop it.
That's fine.
So let's play a little game. How do you guys feel about playing some games?
Let's do it.
Let's.
I know how competitive y'all can be, so it's going to be Saharan against you two.
Yeah.
Is there money involved?
Loser takes a shot.
Takes a
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So we're gonna play a couple games. The first game we're gonna play is the airport code game. So guess as many airports as you can in 30 seconds.
Okay.
I will keep time.
You're gonna keep time.
I'm gonna keep time.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I gotta put my glasses on so we
All right.
can see.
Okay.
All right.
And go. Mexico, France, Atlanta, Miami, Lima,
Peru, Lima,
Dublin, LAX. Ooh, Sydney. Pass. Paris.
5 seconds.
London Heathrow.
Time.
JFK, New York.
Time.
All right.
Time.
They got all easy ones.
Yo, word.
Well,
They're gonna hit us with all the international ones. You said.
Okay, so we got 11. All right, let's see what you guys got.
Let's go, Rule.
All right, we'll keep time for you.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, go.
DXB, Dubai,
Dubai, yes, Dubai.
Your
Honolulu.
finger.
Honolulu.
Ooh.
Pass.
I think Rue was still thinking.
It's Copenhagen.
Yeah.
Come on, see y'all ringing. See y'all cheating.
We can't
What is
see
that?
it.
You
Can't
can't
see
see
it. Can't
y'all
see it.
cheaters.
Flip it.
Give us
Flip
an extra
it.
more seconds.
Give him a couple seconds.
We'll give him a couple seconds.
Yeah. Look. Istanbul, Turkey. Yeah,
Okay.
turn around. Yup, let's go. Don't play with me. Orlando.
Orlando.
Yeah, no. O'Hare. That's Charlotte O'Hare. Come on now. PK.
I don't know.
China. Come on. What? It can't be time.
Singapore.
Netherlands.
They're going overtime. They're just gonna keep
All right,
going. All right,
we lost, man.
They got all the easy ones.
Yo,
They had LAX,
That's
JFK.
one. You got
we
good
won?
ones.
We won?
LAX,
Yo, that's
JFK.
crazy.
I'm accepting my loss because I want
Dubai.
That is crazy.
So this fly game, and we're done. So this is 30 seconds.
Shuffle them up. Shuffle them up.
This one's also
Shuffle
30
it up.
seconds each. So, and guess as many
I don't wanna
country
be
flags as you
accused.
can.
You got something what?
Flags.
I don't want to be accused
Flags.
of shooting
Country
flags.
Oh,
flags.
wow. This is going to be tough. This
This
is
is
a
gonna
tough
be hard.
one.
I already, I can tell you guys, you might win because I am not good at this
Me
at
neither.
all.
I'm not
At
good
all.
at this either. This is going to be a tough
I know a
one.
few, but probably
This is gonna be
few
a tough
everybody
one.
know.
It's not
Yo.
as tough as you think.
This is a tough one. Y'all going first?
Yeah, we'll go
go
first.
first.
We'll embarrass ourselves first.
I got it
All right, go.
now.
Ghana.
Iran. Ooh, it's in the UK.
Bermuda?
Scotland.
Bermuda.
You giving hints?
No, pass.
Pass. Pass. Nigeria.
Oh, girl, you got that.
Trinidad.
What?
Jamaica.
Jamaica. Ooh.
5 seconds.
Pass.
Pass. Cold
Paris.
Italy.
Time's up.
Yeah.
Time's up.
How many do we get?
Yo, that's terrible.
Yo.
6. All right.
Okay, Rue,
and make
let's-
sure you
let's
keep
do
the
it.
ones that we got wrong. Yeah.
All right,
Let's
y'all
do
ready?
it, Rule.
Go.
Okay.
All right.
Go.
DR. Dominican
Jamaican
Republic.
Republic. Cuba.
Cuba. Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, right.
Great Britain.
No.
Okay.
Pass. Mexico. Next. It's Mexico. Sweden.
Bermuda.
Brazil.
Bahamas. Bahamas. I'm sorry, Bahamas.
Yes. Iran.
No.
Czech Republic.
South Asia.
That was close.
Pass that.
Pass. Canada.
Oh man, that's tough.
Yo,
That is
girl.
tough. We gotta take our shot, brother. We whooped our ass on that one. God damn. That's a good game, man. Yo, that's a good game, man.
This was so much fun.
This was
Cheers
so fun.
again.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We all won.
Cheers. We're all
We're
winners.
all winners.
Or either we're all
Right.
stupid.
Love.
Anytime drinking's involved, we all win. Let's go.
Such a good
Goes
time.
down so smooth.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for
Thanks
having
for
It
us.
was
having
so
us.
much fun. And to
Glad
our
to check
audience
in.
out there, don't forget to hit subscribe, like, comment, give us your feedback. We love to hear it. And until the next time, stay fly.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Bye.
Caviar Wings.